local team to bring home a win for your project, visit actionelectrical.net.
The future of female hockey is here. It's season 2 of the Female Super League, the first ever female-only independent hockey division in Western Canada, with teams from British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Featuring 16U, 14U, and 12U divisions, the FSL brings showcase weekends packed with thrilling games, and our 14U and 16U have been pioneering the advanced body checking rule, empowering young players. The Female Super League, where the best in female hockey takes center ice. Details at femalesuperleague.com.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
If you manage or lead a team, join your peers April 14th to 17th at the Banff Management Course. PA Douglas Training invites you to 3 days of immersive leadership development in beautiful Banff, Alberta. Learn how to manage conflict, motivate and influence others, strengthen teamwork, and improve productivity. Proudly Canadian, PA Douglas has trained over 150,000 professionals. Registration includes 3 nights at the Banff Springs Hotel, breakfast, select meals, refreshments, and course materials. Register now at padouglas.ca.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
If you're selling a vehicle, Sherwood Honda really wants to get your goat. We mean greatest offer of all time. Consign with Sherwood Honda, and they can sell your vehicle for you. All breeds, makes, and models, not just Hondas. You can let Sherwood Honda lock horns with those tough negotiators, and you'll reach the interested buyers that flock to Sherwood Honda every day. Sherwood Honda's the goat of selling vehicles, including yours. So someone sure would...
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, Mitch Marner, the hero Toronto always wanted him to be, in a big elimination game for Canada. McDavid at a point per period pace as the Olympics delivers agony with the ecstasy all day, plus a dog. Also, grab a coffee. It's going to be a long show. We'll talk Oilers, too. The Lowdown is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family-owned, community-driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. As you know, we are live on YouTube and Sports 1440. Also, sports1440.ca, iHeartRadio, and Radio Player Canada. After the show, we tweet it out on X. We also have it available on Apple and Spotify podcasts. We're on Twitter all the time at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, at JFenwick04, and Mac McLennan. And you can text or call 833-401-1440. Today, what a day already. We have Kevin McCertie coming up at 1 o'clock. We'll talk about the Oilers. Paul Coffey back in the coaching staff. Matt Savoy down in Bakersfield. And, you know, technically, so is Josh Szymanski. Something's got to break here among the veterans, and we'll find out in the days to come. And we'll talk about that with McCertie. Olympics 12 medals now for Canada. Lots on the way. Canada, Czech, Marner, Sidney Crosby hurt. My goodness, lots happening. We'll have it all for you in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. First, though, the introductions. She just witnessed the biggest hockey goal of her lifetime, and it might be a while before she sees a bigger one, or it could be later this week. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mackenzie McLennan. Mackenzie.
Yes.
How did you feel about that goal?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting Marner, but I'll take whoever.
Well, and if you're in Toronto right now and you're a Maple Leafs fan, this is a thrill and not a thrill. It's going to be the weirdest feeling. All right. He just witnessed the biggest hockey goal of his lifetime. I think it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody. Is it the biggest hockey goal of your lifetime?
Well, see, this is an interesting question. It's either the golden goal.
Well,
I was born in 2004.
Okay, so 6 years old.
You think he was born in 2011?
No, but he's 2 years old. If he's born in 2008, then he wouldn't remember it.
Okay. It's true.
Yeah.
So the golden goal, or we could go back to the year I was born and any of the Martin Jelena series winners.
That puck was in the net. They won the Stanley Cup.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm telling you.
Well, that's the biggest non-goal I've ever witnessed.
Yeah,
and that was, again, 2 months old.
That really is a tragedy. Like, if that had happened to the Toronto Maple Leafs, there'd be some kind of, national monument to it. The biggest hockey goal of his career, of his lifetime, was Sidney Crosby's golden goal, I think. We're going to check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger. I was doing the math, and I knew you were old enough to remember that goal.
Oh, yeah. That was the big one.
Yeah, that was
Golden
huge.
goal. Yeah, I was trying to search my mind for another one, but it really is.
What's the biggest basket you ever saw?
Wow, that's a good question. Honestly, I'm not a fan of the team, and Jimmy Butler was on the team that was eliminated, but it was probably Kawhi's shot against the 76ers.
That was so good.
Hey, also, happy Ash Wednesday to all my Catholic, Anglican, Lutheran, Moravian, United brothers and sisters. Let's have a great Lent season.
There you go. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of sports, shall we? Canada, interesting times in curling. Rachel Homan, not to be denied, playing brilliantly. Basically back against the wall and then just making shots of a lifetime. Incredible story. Canadian men on to the next. Although this was, for me, this is a story that we it's like reading a book. We've got the first few chapters, and then this is a major story spike. And so it could be, they won the gold and this was the one that scared them straight. Or it could be, man, there were some holes and, Czechia exposed them. And then later in the process, they paid a price. We'll see. But you always worry when the round robin doesn't have any great contests. And Czechia wasn't that great in the round robin, but they were today. And they really had a shot at it. My goodness. Everybody's turned into a Mitch Marner and Brad Marchand fan here this afternoon, which is cool and great. The job's not over yet, but a little bit of a reprieve from the governor. Sidney Crosby was hurt. I was driving in, so I don't know haven't gotten an update. Do we know anything about how bad it looked? Like a Charlie horse? Not sure how bad that would be, but obviously he's the captain and the leader of the team, and also just a really productive player. Let's not, make him into Ed Westfall of the New York Islanders in 1972. This guy can play, and they'll miss him if he's out for any length of time. I want to mention a little bit about the Edmonton Oilers, and I know that we're going to talk Olympics all the time. I understand that, and it's great that we're going to. But the Oilers are doing some things. They have a bit of a cap crunch, so Matt Savoy was loaned to the Bakersfield Condors last night. It's basically a money thing. They're a paper thing. They're going to activate Henrique. They have to make a move to do that, and I suspect we'll see either Andrew Mangiapane traded or possibly Matthias Janmark moved, or it is possible Alec Regula goes, although they would be without, they only have 6 defensemen should that happen. So those are news stories that will follow today and through, the 22nd and beyond. There are moves to be made. I think that Savoy might play down this weekend in Bakersfield. We'll see. But it's a short-term thing, and he obviously is one of the 12 best forwards in this organization at this time. I do think that there's, at least a small amount, and I wrote about this week at The Athletic, there's a sliver of opportunity or reality here that, Savoy may not be in the long-term plans. The Oilers have some smaller players like Ike Howard and Quinn Hudson, who's made himself into, somebody that, at least is under consideration to make the team at some point. So they've got 3 small players. You're not going to be able to play 3 small players and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who's a smaller veteran. So somebody's likely to leave. Doesn't mean it's going to be at the deadline, and it certainly doesn't mean that it's Matt Savoy. It is interesting that they chose Savoy to send down, and we'll see how that goes. Paul Coffey has been announced as the addition to the coaching staff 8 days ago, I wrote on the blog Mr. Coffey, where I talked about, when you hear in the wink of an eye, an absolute wink of an eye, there was no talk of anything, and then all of a sudden, these are really big games. There's a lot of heat, and then I'm like, okay, that's from ownership, because Stan Bowman is going to look at this as a large canvas. But if you own the team and you're frustrated, and look, there were reasons to be frustrated. The stretch passes were just too much. And the gapping between the forwards and the defensemen has been criminal all year long. They have to get back to what they did when Paul Coffey was here, which take that extra half a second if you're a defenseman and outlet the puck under control somewhere good. And then the forwards have to play nice and come back down a little lower, at least one of them, to make the opportunity available. And I'm just not sure that the Oilers they got stubborn, quite frankly. So, I don't think owners should step in and make these kinds of decisions. And I have no evidence that it happened, but I've been reading the tea leaves on this team for a long time, and I suspect that is what happened. But the bottom line here is that you give the team 58 games and the coaching staff 58 games, and they're still not buying in that they've got a problem with the outlet passes. They're still not doing what worked a year ago. They're still doing the stretch passes, and they are in no way accommodating the defensemen by lowering the gap for the forwards. Then, I think that's a reasonable thing for the owner or the general manager or the CEO of hockey ops to step in and say, okay, if you guys can't solve this, then we're going to bring in somebody for the coaching staff. It will be interesting. And here's why. Because the Edmonton Oilers organization, when somebody leaves, there's a trickle of little information about what the coach did or player did or did not do. And that did happen with Paul Coffey. You may have read about it. You may have heard about it. People who are talking online or on the radio or with blogs all sort of said, well, you know what? Some of those moves that were made with the defense during the final really didn't make a lot of sense. Now you have to come back with the same guy and talk the same way, in a positive way, about a guy when he left town, where there were just little whispers of criticism. And that's something the Oilers do. They shouldn't do, but they do all the time. And it may bite them a little bit here, because people who have memories are going to remember that those things did occur. It's not going to be from a whisper to a scream. But if you're watching the Edmonton Oilers do business, this was predictable. I wrote about it 8 days ago. And now this coaching staff has to find a way to make it work. And I do wonder, I'm not suggesting there's going to be more changes than that, but if they come back and they've got McFarland now, they obviously have Stewart now, how is that all going to work out? We'll find out. And of course, Chris Knobloch got a chance to choose his own coaching staff. That lasted for less than a year. How does he feel about that? Coaches have egos too. This is the coaching staff, not complete, that made it to the Stanley Cup Finals twice, because they lost a pretty good one to the Dallas Stars. But I think this should solve a lot of the problems that have been really frustrating for Edmonton Oilers fans in terms of the getting out of the zone under control. And the next thing they need to do is fix the third and fourth line. And I don't think you do that by playing Matthias Janmark, Andrew Mangiapane, and Adam Henrique more. Maybe you should allow some of the younger players, like young Josh Szymanski, an opportunity. Those are the big stories today. There's lots of other stories. I want to move around here and talk to anybody about their favorite moment yesterday after we, called the game on this show. Anything really catch your eye last night or this morning? And you can go ahead and say the Marner goal if you want.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about Paul Coffey first, because one thing I don't think you really touched on, and maybe you disagree, but one thing that kind of springs to mind for me is like, okay, in the summer, they've given Knobloch for the first time ability to bring in his own staff.
I did mention that.
Yeah. So, yeah. But sorry, not that part. Like I was beating.
Okay.
The point I was going to say is, like, do you feel like they're completely undercutting him now?
Yes, but that's what happens when owners get involved, and that's why I think it's the owner.
Yeah, because I don't know how much, like how.
See, a CEO and a GM wouldn't do this. They'd fire Knobloch. That's what you do.
Yes.
You wait till the end of the season, you fire the coach.
Right. So like none of it really makes, like, it's an undercutting. Like, I don't think Paul Coffey wants to be behind the bench. He wants to be a special advisor.
No, I think he wants to be GM.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to be behind the bench.
Yeah.
He's
doing this because Kate's asked him.
That's
my belief.
It once again, because you've made the point aptly, I think, earlier in the season that what Chris Knobloch was doing was a rejection of Stan Bowman's summer, and it kind of is an extension of that, the rest of the front office. Now it just seems like we have added another piece that is not in cohesion with the rest of the group.
That's a great point you make. And it is the other thing that it does is it gives us an idea that all is not well, right?
Exactly.
And like, from the fan point of view, they're still back at getting mad about signing Trent Frederick with the Connor McDavid money. We should never lose sight of that. That pissed people off and still does. But the fascinating thing is, how do you make this work, Declan? The way to do it is you fire the coach and you move on. That's how it works. In football, do they do this? I don't think they do.
No. Like you would never see a GM just be like, hey, this is your offensive coordinator now. Never in a million years.
Like even
Maybe
Jerry Jones probably fires somebody and then moves somebody else in.
Yeah, it's really strange. Like it's just, and it also seems like it's kind of like when like that boxer who's had 4 losses in a row, but he was a really big name in the 90s and he's been retired for 7 years. He comes back for what, like Mike Tyson coming back for, like, what can we do to kind of get one last little bloom of the rose here? That's what it seems like. Now, as far as today, how about Czechia having 6 men on the ice
for the entire shift, right? Wild stuff.
How do 4 officials miss that?
Well, you know what? It's a funny element to the game, but Czechia played so well.
They did.
That's heartbreaking for them.
Yep.
And
Marty Nikash is going to be kicking himself from missing that breakaway golden chance.
Well, and Jason said it though. He said, a lot of the big time players on that team, they have them. They needed to step up, and some did in the game. But a terrible loss for the nation. A great win for Canada. And like, if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs fan base, are you like, you've got to be a house divided, Josh. You've got the fact that Marner scored, which is your former guy, and there's a full on vitriol going on about Marner, and yet Canada won because of Marner. So you're happy. So like, is this sort of like a kind of half rain, half sunny day for Toronto?
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like, it really depends on how you felt about the Marner situation as a Leafs fan. Because I know Steve Dangle, he shows up on my For You page all the time. He's like,
oh, sorry about that, man.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Dangle's a nice guy. I met him. He was on my show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But he was like, I've always cheered for Marner whenever he wears a Leaf. Doesn't matter if it's blue or red. So I think there are those Leafs fans who are just excited that Team Canada won. But the fact that it's Marner that scored is the one where they're like, what, you couldn't do this with our franchise? Like, what are we doing here?
Josh, what happens, as you said earlier, what happens if he wins the gold and then his team wins the Stanley Cup his first year out of Toronto?
That's the ultimate middle finger to the city of Toronto.
Wow, that's amazing. That's like Mahovlich winning in Montreal with the Canadiens in 71.
It's crazy because, like, if that happens, it's because I don't think anyone can watch what Mitch Marner did in Toronto for the past decade and said, yes, you showed up in the playoffs. How do you feel about Mitch Marner? Put that aside, but just talking about the playoffs specifically. But if he does that, that is a decade just erased immediately.
And understand, Leafs fans who are critical of Marner and Matthews for not, winning it all with a truly, phenomenal team, maybe never the best team, but a great team. That's fair criticism. Like, it's fair to criticize Marner for not owning a playoff series and owning a playoff run and winning the big game or even getting to the final. But that was a nothing play. And he just kept going. Typical, skill forward. He just kept going till somebody was going to ride him off, and they never did. And then a hell of a shot. And against 6 players, it was amazing.
Yeah, what's going to happen? We're going to keep like up in the narrative. It's going to be like, yeah, against those 7 Czechs, against those 8 Czechs out there.
Everybody was on the ice, including both goalies.
Yeah, in 100 years, they're going to think they iced 23 players.
Tied Paul Henderson in 72, still the greatest goal ever, Rob, in West Edmonton. Yeah, I was just talking about the in the lifetimes of these lady and men. And, I took a guess. If Mackenzie said to me, no, the bigger goal was this one, I would believe her. But if you're Canadian, that was an epic kind of a goal, no doubt about that. And I was in a car, man. I hate it because I always like to be, Joe Sakic, or when Sydney, right? So anyway, life goes on.
I am old enough to remember the golden goal. I didn't realize that you were asking me.
Oh,
I am old enough.
Barely. She's older than you.
Yeah, I'm 26.
Oh, I did not know that. I did not know until this instant. Now, whose number is 26? Because you're Jack Roslovic, who's 26.
Saquon.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's my guy.
Your new nickname is Saquon. I'm an Eagles fan too. So, man, we've got a lot to talk about. All right. On the way, we'll have rumors. What's Declinations today?
Duncan with Declan and jamming with Josh. We got a great little back and forth planned. I'm excited for it. We talked about it yesterday.
Everybody's going to touch the ball before anybody throws?
Me and Josh are going to do the Jackie Moon, Clarence, whatever his name was thing.
Love it. All right. We've got McCertie at 1. Rumors straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you, Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day. With your choice of a McDouble, Junior Chicken, or Chicken Snack Wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
1 in 3 adults don't get enough sleep. The Brick is here to help with deals on your entire bedroom. Save up to 50% off clearance mattresses, 50% off beds when you buy any 3 matching pieces. Buy one, get one half price on ceiling memory foam pillows, and save $100 off any adjustable power base when you buy a mattress over $9.99. Plus, check out other incredible savings in every department. Some exclusions apply. Check out The Brick in South Common, West Ed Mall, North Side, and downtown.
Ever had a problem returning auto parts? At Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock, we do things differently. Hi, it's Lisa, and we're proud to offer one of the best return policies in the business. When you shop with us, you buy with confidence, knowing that if it doesn't fit or if it's not the right part, we'll make it right. For nearly 50 years, Ed's Auto Salvage has helped Alberta drivers save money, stay on the roads, and shop stress-free. Trust the team that stands behind every part we sell. Visit us at edsautosalvage.com.
Any project, commercial or residential, when you need metal and you want it cut or bent fast, this is the place. Metal Supermarkets. Huge inventory, amazing service, and free parking. Free. That's a pretty big deal when you're saving up for something special. Yep, only 3 more payments and this bad boy's mine. And the 1, and the 2, and the Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for... And maybe a little polka too. Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440. Needs more cowbell. The song, not the show. Although, we're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. One of the coolest things of the Olympics so far was the dog. Did you see the dog? They're coming in and they're going to, they've been on skis for 18 hours and it's finally done. And the dog starts chasing them. That was fantastic. That dog's a star now in Italy, I guarantee it. Did you see the dogs?
No, but I love dogs.
Man. And I it looked almost like a coyote. It's maybe a wolf. Like it was something else. All right. Rumors brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. Great Canadian Solar has been helping homeowners and businesses harness the power of the sun for 15 years. Invest in solar and yourself. GreatCanadianSolar.com. You guys having any clearing throat, sneezing, sniffly, clogged, anything issues?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's me for sure. I mean, I'm starting to lose my voice. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's partly time of year, I think, right? Because the weather's up and down like a yo-yo.
Here's the thing, though. I hate being sick, so I just want this to be over.
Couldn't
I'm
agree
obviously
more.
functioning at a very high level. I didn't have to call Donnie in or anything.
Would we say this is functioning at a high level?
I got 4 clips out on the Carrier show today using Adobe Premiere Pro, which I've never done before.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Lowetide. Try to dunk on him.
you know,
He came back with the Wemby rejection.
He did have something in the barrel. There's no doubt about that. Well done.
Yeah. Yesterday, I got home from work. I had a nap until like 9 p.m.
Mhm.
Went out, bought soup, ate it, and then went back to bed. And
Oh,
I
wow.
slept until 4 a.m.
What kind of soup?
Chicken noodle.
Oh, nice.
That's what I eat when I, am sick. As you can now hear on my mic.
I'm not sick. I'm not sick.
I thought you were about to start crying.
No, it was an emotional soup. Did you
It
have
was just so good.
salted crackers?
No, I salted it up a little bit, but I mostly just was like, I need the broth.
Yeah. Well, a smart man, no doubt about it. Sometimes tea with honey helps too.
Well, so I've had 3 bags of tea today. That's raspberry lemon.
Okay.
It's not helping.
We will talk Olympics in 2 shakes. This is a wild day because the heartbreak is if you lose today, right? If you it doesn't matter how you win, but if you win like Canada did, then you're on to the next and you got a real shot at it, right? At least a medal. Paul Coffey is back with the Edmonton Oilers coaching staff. He had stepped down, checked down to a kind of advisory role. He looks for all intents and purposes as the next general manager of this team. That's my guess. I don't know when it happened, but you never know. And he was obviously coaching this team and part of an effective coaching staff until the final, and things didn't go well. And so Chris Knobloch brought his own staff in 58-ish games into the year. Things are not going well. This team is the veterans on the 3rd and 4th line are not performing. They are stubborn as anything about the outlet stretch passes. The deep ones don't work. They're icing or turnovers immediately. And the gapping between the defense and the forwards is poor. So I think that something had to give. And we know that Coffey's coming back. We don't know if there's another shoe to drop on the coaching staff. We don't know. We'll find out when everybody gets back together. Same bat time, same bat channel here soon. But it is an interesting piece of information based on what we were told last summer after the Stanley Cup final. There was a little bit of friction and maybe Coffey took some heat for that. And now we are here. Now there's a different equation of the coaching staff, and I very much doubt whether we'll see the same types of outlet passes, and maybe even the pairings will be different. I don't know. But Coffey's strength as a coach just runs completely counter to his strength as a player. Coffey's strength as a player were stunning individual efforts. Skating like you would not believe. Like in the 1980s when we saw him, we all knew what he was. He was just the perfect skater. On glide, he could beat everybody. He was so good. And he was defensively, he was a little bit of chaos. But as a coach, he slowed the game down for players. I remember Vincent Desharnais talking about, Coffey had given him the freedom to take his time when he had the puck on his stick, maybe just take another heartbeat and send it to a good place instead of a panic place. And if Coffey can bring back that kind of play and attitude, then I do think these Edmonton Oilers have a better chance to win something than they would have if they kept going the way they were doing it. All of that said, I vehemently disagree with this kind of move if it's from the owner, because it is not the way smart teams do business. You can't have that kind of interference. Scotty Bowman years ago, they asked him why the Montreal Canadiens were so successful, and he said, because we see the Molson family like once a year or twice a year. Once a year, they come to a Sunday skate with their friends once, and they skate before the Sunday game. And then once a year, if we win the Stanley Cup, they're in the photo. That's it. And Sam Pollock ran the team. And I think that's the way it should work. That said, there was clear need for something to happen. They were miserable in that 8-game homestand. And I think that there should be at least a little bit of tweaking in regard to how they deploy and how they come out of their own zone. That's my belief. So that's the big story today. There's none bigger. Well, okay, the Olympics, but that's a big story. Matt Savoy sent down to Bakersfield. It looks like it's just a paper move. They will be getting a way to have Henrique on the roster, and be under the cap. I think it's $200,000, or it's a small amount, but they got to make it happen. I suspect it's going to be a Mangiapane trade, but we'll see, and that will come in due time. You were going to say something.
I was just going to say, I didn't know if it was going to throw you off your mind, your thought process or anything. But I was
gives me a chance to think.
It's just the old who is taking Andre Mangiapane?
Oh, but you do. It's an easy trade to make because you go Mangiapane and the 2027 first for nothing. It's a terrible trade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And even because that's absolutely how it would have to go. Even still, like, how much does a really enticing looking draft pick sweeten what Andre Mangiapane has been?
Well, I think there are coaches are amazing. There's a coach out there in the NHL who goes, I can fix this guy.
Yeah.
I can coach him up, get him confident, and maybe we trade him at next year's deadline for another second. Coaches are like that. Coaches believe.
You're right. It's just like at some point it's like, maybe we can flip for a second. Oh, third, a fourth. All of a sudden it's like it's a dead asset.
The Oilers had Jesse Puljujarvi up here in 2018, and he was just losing confidence by the minute. It was really overwhelming. He's just a kid, right? Big kid, but just a kid. And they sent him down. He struggled 29 games, I think, here, and then they sent him down. 4 games into his time in Bakersfield, and by the way, he was playing very well at a point per game, played well. Ken Hitchcock gets hired, and he convinces Peter Chiarelli that he can save him. Like, coaches are, and good that they are. Like, it's good that they are like that, because they do have to save guys. Like, if a coach comes in and the team's losing and they're bad, like Vancouver, a new coach comes in, you've got to build confidence on those guys. You've got to coach them up and tell them they're great, even if they're not. You have to go all Sparky Anderson. And so somebody out there, I think, would have Mangiapane in their sights, and the general manager is going to take it because he's going to get a high pick, and they always like those. It won't be this year, though, so it won't be as attractive. But getting Mangiapane off the books might be the big deadline deal, right? Because it's dollar for dollar, and I don't see anybody moving. I do wonder what Matthias Janmark has to do to move off of this roster, though. Like, he's not scoring goals.
It couldn't be much worse.
It just, I mean, I'm like, that's the easy move. I would have sent him down instead of Matt Savoy. But the coaching staff and the management, I will give them credit. They are absolutely on side with all of the veterans here. The veterans, I mean, they were really hesitant to send Calvin Pickard down. Remember, there was a whole thing about that. And then they finally made a trade, and they had to do it. But Edmonton Oilers ownership and management are very loyal to any veterans that come here. With all of this happening,
he would have to play without skates, by the way. That's the correct answer. That's how he finally gets.
I mean, something. I think you're right. I think you're right. Like I like Janmark. I'm not like, he's had 2 really good playoffs in a row, but you have to piss a drop offensively. You just do, and he's not.
Yeah, like maybe if he goes out there for his 4th shift in a row without a stick, we'll finally be like, hey, something's not really right here. But until that happens, like, I don't know. And the minutes too.
Yeah, I know. It's they'd rather send down a kid than
I don't mind him going getting some game action though.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for Savoy. He's played with Draisaitl and McDavid, and he's just not scoring enough to stay in there. NFL quickly, Raiders #1 pick, virtually unattainable. That's your quarterback, right? He's going there.
Yeah, Heisman Mendoza.
Is he the new Brady? Like, is he going to get? Because there's a lot of hype already, man.
I don't know. Like, listen, I don't ever want to call someone the new best player ever who has more Super Bowls than any individual team. That seems a bridge too far before he's taken an NFL snap and before he's taken an NFL snap with the Vegas Raiders. But yeah, I like him a lot. I mean, you know, Josh, Mack, you guys are football people. Where do you come out on Fernando Mendoza?
I think it's too easy to say that he's this next Tom Brady-esque type of player.
I don't like that comparison.
I really don't like that. And it puts too much pressure on the kid as well, especially because we're seeing a lot more commonly now, like these young quarterbacks need time to develop. And as if they don't come out in their first year or two and have crazy excellence or, you know what I mean?
Great results.
Yeah,
right
there
away.
we go. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
They're immediately considered a bust, which I don't think is really fair to them.
Is he like? I guess what I'm asking is like, they say it's untouchable. They clearly want to build around this guy. Are the Raiders the right team for him? And do they have, like, did they draft 2 offensive linemen that they can count on and have a center and a running back and a wideout, so it'll be easier for this kid when he, takes his first snap in a regular season game in the NFL? Do they have that?
I don't think so, but
is he going
I can be wrong.
Have a knee injury in game 3 because he's running around so much? I'll be interested in seeing what happens. The Raiders, to me, are not a team you can be confident in. If that's my son, I'm going maybe pull an Elway, but maybe I'm wrong.
I feel like the bright side of it is that Tom Brady is a part of that ownership group.
Right.
So that kind of helps. But like even Ashton Genty, he didn't really get going until like the second half of the season.
Like we gotta not rewrite history, because that offensive line was historically bad, and his numbers after contact were like actually.
So that's what I'm asking.
Than his.
So if I'm Mendoza's dad, do I say, son?
Oh man,
cool your jets.
No, you know how I
we
feel
want to
about
get
this.
traded. You don't report, don't sign, do an Elway.
No, you know how I feel about this one. I got to stand against you on this one.
That's okay.
We got a back-to-back buddy
It's
cop.
boring if we agree on everything.
Yeah, this is a big one where I'm like, no.
We both love Jimmy. This is a good.
And again, like we have talked about this as well. It could be. There are way worse situations to go than the Raiders. It's not great. Don't get me wrong. Like it's not. You're not going to the Packers. No. But it could be worse.
So they're not one player away. They're not this player away.
No, but they'll be in a better spot with him.
Okay. I know you're going to get mad at me, and I don't want you to, but I want to know. So they draft a quarterback. How many offensive linemen are they away from having a line that won't shred the quarterback?
Probably like 6.
Okay. So maybe he's not the starter next year.
No, he'll start. What are you going to do? Trot out Geno Smith again? pay him
I don't
$30
want
million
my
a year who
son
just led the
to
league.
have his knees shredded. Look at the Bengals, man. This happens. It's a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
who was the starter when Brady got to New England? Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Right. How long did he play?
Yeah, but Bledsoe was good. Like, he was good. He deserved to be the starter. And Brady was also like a 6th-round draft pick. Fernando Mendoza is coming in to change the team and change the culture. And also, I hate to play this card, but like, if we're paying you guaranteed money where you never have to work again, conceivably, before you even touch a football field, like, you kind of got to go out there and play. And maybe that's not right. Have that argument, that's another thing. But that's kind of the reality of the situation.
How many generational type quarterbacks are lost to injury before they reach their peak?
Josh Mack, what do you guys think?
Am I just making this up? Because
No.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but I really feel this way, but that doesn't mean I'm right.
I agree with you in that sense, because even like looking at it as a parent, like, he's in his 20s, and statistically football players don't have long careers. So why would you risk that?
No.
Why
Why not wait until they draft 6 good offensive linemen over the next 2 years? Anyway, I've argued this to the point where Declan is not talking to me, so we're going to move on.
No, it's not that.
I understand. You're busy. What are you typing, a story?
Yeah, you're just replying to the text line. Currently talking with...
You do a great job of that, and I so appreciate it, and I never thank you for it. I especially like the ones where you type, yeah, I don't know. Lowetide keeps showing up. We've changed the locks. And we changed the time of the show, and he keeps showing up on time. I don't know how he does it. All right, 12:39. We'll take a break. On the way, more Olympics talk. And this day in hockey is going to be a wild one to be remembered for a long time. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best. The one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Hello. You're never going to believe this. Booster Juice called your name today. You can get a free smoothie or acai bowl.
No way. I'm heading there now.
Oh my gosh, you and my brother have the same name. Okay, I'm calling him next. I'm hanging up.
Booster Juice Names of the Day is back. 2 names are selected each day, and if your name matches, you can get a free smoothie or an acai bowl. Watch for your name on the Booster Rewards app and social media. Must be an app member to qualify. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Mitch Marner through to the net. Marner, winner, Team Canada headed to the semis.
Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Get down to Harley-Davidson of Edmonton's VIP Spring Blowout Sale this Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. New motorcycles are selling for as low as $12,900.
Et réussi à gagner du temps et surtout à garder la rondelle. Voilà Jarvis derrière la ligne bleue. Séquence pour Dick Suzuki. Il a tout fait en solo. Et c'est l'égalité 3 points. Bon, il récupère la rondelle, non pas une, mais deux.
Offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams. Whether it's retirement or your first home, the deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out. WolfGMCBuick.com. You know, love songs used to be love songs. Is that the 7 Things I Hate About You? Is that the name of that song?
7 Things by Miley Cyrus. They just announced a Hannah Montana reunion or special for the 20-year anniversary yesterday. So I thought
and
fitting.
Miley Cyrus is Hannah Montana. Right.
Yep.
Right. Now explain Old Town Road.
Her dad
Yes.
is on it with Lil Nas X.
That song got played so often.
Yeah.
It's like a lot.
Overplayed.
Paul Coffey's back with the Oilers. This is a quote from NHL.com/Oilers. Head coach Chris Knobloch saying, "I've been in regular contact with Paul since last summer. I believe we will benefit both as a team and a staff from his return at this time." Coffey says, "I'm excited to return and work alongside Chris and the entire staff." Okay. Well, you know there's going to be changes in the outlets and the structure of the team because he's coming back for a reason. So what I want to know is, how does the hierarchy work? Like, is it like it was last year, or, you know, and where's is Stewart still in charge of the defense? Because I don't know that he would be. Like like sand through the hourglass. These are the days of our lives. That's an old soap opera, Declan.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I always wanted to get into soap operas.
You watch soap operas?
I wanted to get into them. I
And
didn't
they
know
all
where to
kind of
start.
went away, right?
Well, because I looked it up. I was like, how far back do I have to go? And they've been running for like 60 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a problem. Although their flashbacks are so common that you find out everything if you
Yeah,
watch
I think we talked about this recently because I remember.
Yeah, no, it's true. We did talk about it. The whole show is just 7 different themes going through every day.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Stewart stand now? Well, that's what I was asking. I mean, I don't know. I just know that Stuart was on the staff last year, as was Coffey. So they may just fall into the old, same old. But they're structurally different. I've had people say to me, no, they're not. They had the stretch pass before, but they're using it so much. This team, the gaps between the forwards and the defense are different. They're just farther than they were a year ago. But I'm not making this up. I make a lot of stuff up, mostly about Declan and Josh, and now, the Mackenzie's here. I make up a lot of stuff about her too, but the hockey stuff, it's there. It is. By the way, Finland defeating Switzerland, right? And now they're along with Canada into the Final Four. So any hockey tournament that has Finland in the Final Four is a good hockey tournament. I don't want to get political here, but do you guys dislike that Russia is not included in the Olympics? Taking the politics out, does it make it a different experience for you that the hockey players aren't there?
Do you guys want to start with this one?
Yeah.
Josh, Mac?
I can. It does, but it doesn't, because in Sochi, the men's, they played Canada in the gold medal and took silver. And then in Vancouver, I don't think they medaled. Right? I think.
No, they didn't. You're right.
So, the side of it being Ovechkin's last Olympics, that would have been really cool to see. But I don't know if Russia is the same hockey powerhouse that we know them to be anymore.
That's a great point. Because we know they're players who play in the NHL, but Pico Ovechkin doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, they also did. They were silver medalists in 2022, and they won it in 2018, which is a little bit more recent than 10 and 14. Sorry, actually, Josh, you go ahead first.
18 and 22, the NHLers weren't there, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, correct.
Josh is saying no. No,
waving it over me. Yeah. No, you make a great. That absolutely deserves to be mentioned. Yeah. But it still, I think, speaks to what hockey is in the country. But to tail off Mac's point, my thing was I don't think anyone was Russia is the gold medal favorite. Would you have said they were better than Canada or the Americans?
Not at all.
Right?
Not at all.
So it'd be different if they were the odds-on gold medal favorite and they got held out. I don't think they were. There is still something that I don't think it taints it too much, because exactly what I just said. They're not the odds-on gold medal favorite.
Yeah.
But there is kind of a little bit of, it'd be nice to see Kuch there in a best-on-best tournament. It'd be nice to see Vasilevsky in a best-on-best tournament. It'd be nice to see, go down the line of these players. So,
and just
but
so
you understand,
just so everybody knows, we know why they're not here, and we're not being critical of that. We understand it. I'm just asking from I'll be honest with you. I've been a little bit disappointed in Sweden, and I thought Finland, if they'd lost today, I was going to, because I like a Final Four of, say, Sweden, Finland, USA, Canada. And I think the USA, if the USA, Susan asked me this, and I didn't have really an answer, which is typical. But if the USA and Canada meet in the final, who is your favorite to win it?
Canada.
Yeah.
I think
by how much?
Objectively speaking, I think they have a better roster. Now, this game against Czechia
also the goaltending is a little concern, right?
Binnington looks a little shaky, but he also makes some big saves. Mm-hmm. So I'd favor Canada, but I'd favor them in a 3-2 game.
So how many units would you bet on Canada if the predicted score was 3-2 Canada?
Yeah, I'd put a hundo down.
Right. So 100 units.
Probably has pretty good odds on that to be the exact score.
Is that your heart or is that your brain?
No, I think they're a better roster. Listen, Lowetide, you know me. I pride myself in my objectivity. I think Canada has a better roster.
What do other people think about your?
I think America has the better goaltending.
Right.
I don't think many people would disagree with that. And I think Binnington, he's looked shaky. He looked shaky against France. He looked shaky against Czechia, but he's made some big saves too, that you kind of lean on and you say, hey, that's not bad.
So, question for, I don't know if Josh is playing along anymore, but then I'll ask you, Mackenzie, if Canada meets the United States, who are you favoring in the final men's hockey?
Yeah, Canada.
Okay.
She said that with way more heart than I did.
Yeah. But we all agreed it was Canadian men that were going to win. Yeah. But it's interesting to me because I feel like Canada, after today, maybe people are less confident. Sorry for interrupting.
No,
you.
that's okay. But I'm kind of with Declan in like the sense I trust them in a 1-goal game. And objectively, US has the better goaltending. But I don't really trust Hellebuck in big games. Swayman didn't look great in whatever game that was that he played. And he hasn't played in many big games. And Jake Ottinger has been outplayed by Stuart Skinner in two years in a row in the Western Conference Finals. So when you look at like the body of work in big games for goaltenders, I favor Canada. Although I'm not the biggest Jordan Binnington fan, but in a big game, I'm like, I know he'll make the stops that we need.
That's a good analysis of the situation.
See, that's interesting you said that because I liked the overall point, but I didn't like the body of work that took to get it there. It's kind of like when you do the math problem incorrectly, but you still get the right answer.
Oh, I see.
Well, I look at like
so let's break it down. Well, let's run it back, the tape, and then listen to it again. And
I mean, listen, it's 6-1 at this point, but I'm just
Josh doesn't feel well, so we're not going to let him talk, which,
well, we'll let him. It's up. It's totally
no,
his
but
choice.
he doesn't. I don't think he feels like he can. Last time he talked, it sounded like he was crying. I'm going to say this, and then we're going to take a break. For many years, many years, I've been waiting for the USA men's hockey team to deliver what I think will eventually be a supernova effort of talent and maturity, and they keep not getting there. So I don't know this is going to be the year. They certainly have a talented team, but they do have some immaturity on that team. So I think Canada will win, and I think Canada could win straight up. But what I would like to see is the United States play a game of hockey where they were not worried about things that don't matter to winning. I would like to see the United States just try to win by playing their best hockey. And I think if they ever did that, they could absolutely win the gold medal at the Olympics. Just my opinion. Okay, on the way, Kevin McCertie. We're going to talk about the Olympics. We're going to talk about Paul Coffey, the Matt Savoy send down, what's going on with the lines and pairings and all of that straight ahead. And we have Declinations. We're going to Duncan with Declan today. And it's Duncan with Declan fooling around with Josh. Is that what it's called?
Look, jamming with Josh.
Okay.
Because jamming is also a basketball term.
And what was the name of that soap opera that you watch under the belt over the back fence?
Neighbors, Australian soap opera.
Perfect.
Where Margot Robbie got her start.
There you go. Very nice.
Whoopsies.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. It's time for an update with Mackenzie.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Custom Floors Inc. Floors done right for homes or businesses. Visit the new showroom at 11577 149th Street. Now open 6 days a week with the Saturday hours from 10 to 2. Visit customfloorsinc.ca and bring your next flooring project to life. Over news from the Oilers this morning, Paul Coffey will be back behind the bench. And over in Italy, Canada takes the win over Czechia in overtime with a goal from Mitch Marner. Sidney Crosby left the game as well. No update as of yet. Finland beat Switzerland in overtime with a goal from Lehkonen. The U.S. takes on Sweden at 1:10 p.m. And the men's curling team beat Italy 8-3 in the preliminary round and will take on Norway tomorrow morning. Right now, Team Homan is up 3-2 over Italy, and William DeGino took third in the semifinal men's short track 500 meter, and the final is on the way. And the women will be competing in the short track 3,000 meter relay coming up shortly here. Blue Jays outfielder Anthony Santander is scheduled to miss between 5 and 6 months because of a torn labrum reemerging while doing off-season hitting work. In the NBA, Kyrie Irving will miss the remainder of the season as he continues to recover from a knee surgery last March. I'm Mackenzie, and that's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440.
Stingray radio station. CKJR. Broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Need for some rough roads, but it means trails are now packed and ready for action. Don't miss out on riding adventures this winter with a Ski-Doo from Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. Work or play with new 2026 Generation 5 models with class-leading design and power. And right now, take advantage of 5.99% financing OAC. Only at Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. 15 Inglewood Drive in St. Albert. And always at riversidehonda.com. Shop local, shop Canadian.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
The Edmonton Firefighters Rooftop Campout for Muscular Dystrophy is happening now. Edmonton firefighters are again braving the elements by camping on the roof of Fire Hall Number 2. This year, they've added a little twist and started the rooftop campout with no camping equipment. The more money they raise for muscular dystrophy, the more equipment they get to survive an Edmonton winter, with a final goal of getting off the roof and helping this incredible cause. Donate now at any Edmonton Fire Hall or online at edmontonrooftopcampout.ca.
If you manage or lead a team, join your peers April 14th to 17th at the Banff Management Course. PA Douglas Training invites you to 3 days of immersive leadership development in beautiful Banff, Alberta. Learn how to manage conflict, motivate and influence others, strengthen teamwork, and improve productivity. Proudly Canadian, PA Douglas has trained over 150,000 professionals. Registration includes 3 nights at the Banff Springs Hotel, breakfast, select meals, refreshments, and course materials. Register now at padouglas.ca.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notaloneco.com. It's okay to not be okay.
McValue meals are here. Get the McDs you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, Junior Chicken, or Chicken Snack Wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
Measles is very dangerous during pregnancy, increasing the risk of many severe health-related complications. If you're planning to become pregnant, make sure you have received 2 doses of the vaccine at least 1 month before conception. Don't get measles, get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick, family owned, community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. By the way, a really quick announcement that Sports 1440 will be carrying Toronto Blue Jays games starting this Sunday. Yeah, Grapefruit and Cactus League underway. And you can listen to the radio as you tool around Edmonton, no matter what the weather is, and listen to Toronto Blue Jays baseball. Joined now by our friend Kevin McCertie. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing well, Alan. How are you doing this week?
I have I'm good, but I have like 5 top stories to talk to you about. Let's start with the Olympics, and we knew it was going to be an exciting day. Connor McDavid is, I think, around or close to a point per period now. And your overall thoughts on Canada today and through this tournament and what comes forward in Canadian men's ice hockey.
Well, that was pretty much the never in doubtiest win that the Canadian team has pulled off yet. And, kind of in the famous words of Lando Calrissian, that was too close. Glad they could pull it out at the end, but that was a lot more touch and go than it should have been.
It's, Finland and Canada are through. We were talking a minute ago about the United States. They seem to be certainly the most vocal, loudest team. The most eventful games occur with them on the ice. Traditionally, though, they sputter at the inopportune times here as we enter the elimination rounds. How difficult do you think the United States, if they play well, will be for this Canadian club?
Extremely, and that might be more true depending on what Crosby's disposition is, because if that injury is as bad as I think it might be, I'm hopeful that we'll see him again, but I have my doubts.
Yeah, it looked bad. There's no doubt about that. It looked like the kind of injury you don't come back from right away. So let's talk. The Edmonton Oilers making news here. There were rumors and rumblings about Paul Coffey going back a couple of weeks ago. And now it's been announced that he will join the staff, and everybody wondering about, how will that work and all of those things. But first blush reaction from you about Coffey rejoining the group less than a year after leaving.
I'm not really surprised. It was pretty clear that they needed a little bit of a veteran presence with a different viewpoint on that bench than perhaps a viewpoint that's there for the most part. I wonder about the chemistry between Coffey and Knobloch and whether they're able to put their rumored differences aside. I hope so, and I think they're both big enough men to do it. But that's going to be important to, the kind of disposition through the end of the year as they close the season out. I think overall it's a good move for the team, but I hope it's not a panic move at the same time.
Kevin McCertie, our guest on Sports 1440 in the Lowdown with Lowetide. Coffey, as a player, was just pure offense and just a wonderful skater. One of my all-time favorite players, no matter what team he played for. As a coach, he really surprised me with his ability to calm down the defensemen, even the guys who didn't move the puck necessarily well or skate well, like Vincent Desharnais. He did surprise me with his ability to get a lot out of a team, and I'm looking forward to more precise passes, the kinds we saw a year ago and the previous year before the team played Florida twice in the final. What is it about Coffey's approach to the game that you like and that you feel like maybe are needed here or will be a welcome respite from what we've seen?
I just hope that he convinces this team to break the puck out more effectively than they have been. I'm kind of sick of watching, two-line tap-in hockey, to be honest with you. If he can get the likes of Darnell Nurse and Jake Wallman going to their full potential, especially Jake Wallman, that will ease the load on Ekholm and Bouchard a little bit, and hopefully we can get he can get some more magic out of Stastny and Emberson yet too. So I'm just hopeful that he's a calming presence and a little bit of a different viewpoint, and not afraid to call out, crappy plays, and not afraid to call out well done plays. We've watched him do it on the bench year over year, and I think that's a welcome presence in this case.
Do you think the Oilers, they've sent down Matt Savoy, Josh Szymanski was sent down to Bakersfield before the Olympics began. Do you think we have a move coming up here? Adam Henrique going to be activated. They're a little bit short. Savoy is apparently, based on rumors, short term. So one assumes a move is made. Do you suspect we'll see something here before the next game is played?
It's been rumored that Szymanski is staying with the big team, and I also have heard that Savoy will be back from multiple places. I believe it was Hart Levine on Puckpedia that did some math and calculated out that if the Oilers left Savoy down for a little bit, they would be able to bring him back based on the prorated cap hit in a few days. So I think that that's probably the prudent move. They need to get Adam Henrique off of LTIR and get him playing. So if it costs them a few days of Savoy and Bako and he can go play 23 minutes a night, that's an okay outcome too.
It's interesting to me that the Edmonton Oilers have had miserable play from their bottom six forwards, veterans who are on no movement clauses. And I just think it would be a real travesty if the Oilers come back and they're still playing all of the players who have been so non-productive, including Andrew Mangiapane. I think it's fair to be critical of Matthias Janmark. And Henrique had some injury issues and wasn't 100% either. But, Szymanski, to me, earned the right to play in a top 9 role for sure, but certainly a top 12 role. And I would say the same about Savoy, although his season has been longer and more uneven. I think both of those players have shown enough to play in front of veterans who are struggling.
100%. And I think that there's a very good chance, based on the language that's been coming out in the media and via some of the team reports, that accountability might be an increased focus coming out of the break. I think that's important. Again, I think that it's likely that we'll see both Szymanski and Savoy back again. And you may see accountability in the form of benchings for people who are not bringing what they need to bring every single game. And I don't think that anybody's going to be safe from that, whether it's Janmark, whether it's Rico, whether it's whoever. I think that you're really going to have to keep playing your way onto the roster for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, it's I think it's go time, right? Like,
Yep.
I like Alec Regula, but I think that they need a stronger number 7 defenseman. I really like Curtis Lazar and Trent Frederick together on that fourth line, and I'd like to see them, use that more. I think there's just a sliver of hope on that third and fourth line. I'd still like to see Nugent Hopkins centering the third line, but the time is now, right? Like you only have like 24 games left. The rubber's got to hit the road. It's go time.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Regula went for a bit of a stay in Bakersfield. My understanding is he has to clear waivers. So if they choose to go that route, there are a couple other more lesser known routes that they could get him down there for short periods of time. But I think that it's likely that Regula and potentially anybody else, like I wouldn't put it past them waiving Janmark if he doesn't get going himself. And I would suspect there's a high likelihood that he would clear given his cap hit. And I think he's got one more year left on his contract. So I think those are, I think there's going to be accountability that way. And I think it's important to get some of these players that have been sitting cold playing even in the short term.
Final question for you. Deadline is coming up. The Oilers are, they have interesting assets, but not a lot of them are extreme value. Quinn Hudson, I think, is a wonderful young player, but his trade value would not be high. You'd be shocked to your shoes if one of Savoy or Ike Howard were dealt at the deadline.
Not entirely, but they would have to have a pretty crafty plan to replace the need in those roles. They need scoring wingers. They need two-way players that are fast. Like they've lost a lot of that over the past couple of seasons. So it would depend on what the return is. I'm not necessarily in a huge mood for them to burn down the prospects cupboards this season based on what I've seen out of this team thus far. But I guess the team will decide whether they're how all in they truly are or not, or whether they're going to take it easy and let the reserves build up a little bit coming out of the end of the year.
Are you still working on your skating, getting ready for the big game?
Yeah, played my first game on Sunday. I kind of wanted to die, and I'm gonna be right back at it again this Sunday. So we'll see how it goes. Get one step at a time, or one stride at a time, I guess.
Are you touching the puck a lot? Are you making those pinpoint passes?
We're not going to talk about the analytics of the last game I played because I'm pretty sure I was about minus 500. Anyhow, it was a process. It's been 15 years since I handled a puck on real ice, so there's a lot of rust to bang off, and some things are coming back and other things are going to take longer, or stamina, strength, whatever, to build up, right?
So the corgis were barking, but you're doing it, and that's the key. Thanks, man.
No worries. Have a good week, everyone.
There you go. Kevin McCertie, our guest every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, talking about the Edmonton Oilers and the Olympics. Sam from Vancouver, the conversation with Chris Knobloch must have been a take it or leave it type dialogue. Any success from now on would be attributed to Paul Coffey and not Knobloch. So now does he agree to this change other than if you don't like it, leave? Well, I do think there's been a change in the weather, and I do think it probably came from the upper levels of the organization. That said, the organization could have fired Chris Knobloch. I think it would have been a mistake. He's been to 2 Stanley Cup finals. The team is obviously playing poorly, but I do think that there are legitimate reasons for that we can identify. When you sign older free agents and they stop scoring, i.e. Matthias Janmark or Andrew Mangiapane, you may have made a mistake. What you don't want to do is double down on that mistake by playing them through the regular season as regulars. And the Oilers have evidence that Josh Szymanski, Matt Savoy, maybe Quinn Hudson would be able to take those minutes. So I think part of it is that, and then I think the other part of it is Coffey being able to improve the way the defense outlets. The Oilers aren't very good at playing defense in their own zone without the puck after the 10-second mark. But I've got news for you. Nobody is. And the best way to avoid that is outlet passes under control that send the puck to the other end. You're going to play defense during a game, but you don't want to play it 30 times. You want to play it 20 times. And the Oilers have been playing defense too much, and they're not terribly good at it. Lots of teams are poor at it because they're trying to get the puck out under control. They're trying to use their skill to avoid having to play defense. This year, the Oilers have been playing defense way too much, and it's because of those ridiculous long passes that are the worst possible play in terms of percentage of success. Okay, 1:15. Take a break. On the way, more talk about the Oilers, the Olympics, lots of news coming in about how Canada is doing, and we'll broach that subject next. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notalonecode.com. It's okay to not be okay.
The Edmonton Firefighters Rooftop Campout for Muscular Dystrophy is happening now. Edmonton firefighters are again braving the elements by camping on the roof of Fire Hall number 2. This year, they've added a little twist and started the rooftop campout with no camping equipment. The more money they raise for muscular dystrophy, the more equipment they get to survive an Edmonton winter, with a final goal of getting off the roof and helping this incredible cause. Donate now at any Edmonton Fire Hall or online at edmontonrooftopcampout.ca.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Kevin Carrion weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
Legacy Heating and Cooling sucks. Yeah, Legacy can now suck your ducts with professional duct cleaning, furnace cleaning, and dryer vent cleaning.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
When you need the filth sucked from your air ducts.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
When you want cleaner air for your family.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Legacy now offers air duct cleaning. Book in today. Just call Legacy.
Get down to Harley-Davidson of Edmonton's VIP Spring Blowout Sale this Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. New motorcycles are selling for as low as $12,900. And ask us about the 1-year extended warranty on new and used bikes. Bring your buddies, because when they buy a new Harley, you get a $500 referral credit. For more details, visit Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead.
Went off McDavid. Trying to take off again. He steals. He's in. Drop. Celebrating. Scores. Macklin celebrating. He's got it.
Homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
What's some non-Nissan drivers here?
Soul-crushing flurries today with the low of making you cry.
What Nissan drivers here?
It's looking absolutely perfect out there.
Don't fear the forecast. Get an all-wheel drive Nissan Rogue and get up to $4,500 cash purchase bonus on select new 2026 Rogue models. Built, tested, and trusted to conquer Canada's harsh winters. Visit your local Nissan dealer today or nissan.ca for details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit sports encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Family owned, community driven. Counted up to 13 medals now. Their short track. 3 gold, 4 silver, 6 bronze. The freestyle skiers have 4. Medal speed skaters 3. Short track 4. Snowboarding 1. And we'll get some hockey and curling here as well. Some more skating ones as well, I'm sure. Badniv says, yeah, they need scoring wingers, but neither of Howard or Savoy are that, though. Too soon to tell. Howard is just smoking the AHL. He's at a point per game at even strength down there. And in the NHL, he hasn't played much with Draisaitl or McDavid, but in 10 minutes with McDavid, he's averaging 11.75 points per 60. In 29 minutes with 10 minutes with Draisaitl, it's 11.75. Small amount, very small. A sample, got a goal and an assist. With McDavid in 29 minutes, he's 2.06, so he's doing well. He just doesn't have the opportunity, and that may not come this year, and that's fine. Little different, I think, for Matt Savoy, because he is getting some opportunities here. With McDavid in 134 minutes, that's substantial, not the 200 that the experts suggest that you wait until you make, some kind of a, bold-face statement. He's at 1.35. That's a little shy. It's not terrible, but it's a little shy. You wouldn't insert him into the lineup with that kind of number. And 150 minutes with Leon, 1.19. So both a little shy. Now, he's a rookie. You don't necessarily expect him to set the world on fire. You'd like those numbers to be a little higher. But he has a great utility. He can penalty kill. You worry about his size, winning battles, those things. There's a player there. I just don't know that the Oilers feel like they can go into a Stanley Cup playoffs they want to go deep into and want to win the Stanley Cup. You know, he may be one of the wingers that if they make a trade is turning into more of a, you know, less of a regular, more of a part-time guy, depending upon who's injured as the season rolls along. Howard, I don't expect to play in the playoffs this year. We'll see, but you'd need a couple of injuries. Anybody surprised about Coffey? It feels like nobody is. I guess it was rumored a couple of weeks ago. Before then, I don't think anybody was really talking about it.
I mean, I am a little bit because even when he first got brought on in that 23-24 season, in the press conference, he kind of said, like, I don't know why I'm here and I'm not really super jazzed to be behind the bench. So I don't know how much those feelings would have changed between now and then.
Yeah, what I don't understand is how you, like, do you go back to the system they had before? Or, because McFarland is new, right? Gullickson's gone, McFarland is new. The things that have changed, in my opinion, is they're relying on the stretch pass more, and they're not using the middle of the ice for those short, precise outlet passes to the center that work so well. And I think Nurse and Wallman can do that, but you've got to give them better targets. And I think Coffey's really good at reminding these defensemen they have more time than they think they do. And then the other side of it is you got to have those gaps close. I don't think these are difficult adjustments. I just don't know why they didn't happen before now. And usually that means there's a stubborn streak in the coaching staff. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. They have the same system. The system is not blowing the zone. It's the forwards, 97 and 29, not doing it. Repeat, Kenneth. It's not the system that they had that worked before the Florida series was they had somebody come down low, usually the center, but not always. You take a nice little outlet pass in the middle on the high slot. You don't use the boards. The Oilers got killed when they used the boards against the Florida Panthers, and they Stetcher got hit really hard. Turned over the puck, ended up in a goal, and then they abandoned the outlet pass. Man, you just can't do that. That's one off. And then they did have some injuries. In fairness to the Oilers, those defensemen, Game 6, the first two goals, both Ekholm and Bouchard did not look 100% to me. I don't know on the bench what you do to check down from Bouchard and Ekholm as a pairing because you don't really have the horses. I think that's fair. So, part of playoff hockey is that it's an attrition game, and the Oilers ended up on the wrong side of that at a bad time. I'll bet Nobbs is gone by the deadline. If they were going to do that, they would have done it now. Like that. One of the questions you could ask is, if you're doing this, why wouldn't you, make that change now? But I think that part of the reason that the Oilers did it is that it came from ownership. That's my belief. I have no evidence of it. I'm suggesting that I know what went on behind closed doors, which is always very dangerous. But I also think that from a management point of view, this is an unusual move, probably would have been made with a firing in the summertime, just my opinion. Ty, do you think with the injuries, Crosby, Morrissey, Fiala, the NHL will not allow players next Olympics? Devtron, well, I know that John Tavares getting hurt really hurt the New York Islanders, whatever year that was. And I know it's always a concern. And look, if I'm Daryl Cates, that's a real concern, because the reason that people come to watch hockey in Edmonton and pay prices that they pay is because of those super duper stars and what they can bring. So I get it. I understand it completely. But the other side of that is this is driven by the players. And the NHL has, I think, in my lifetime, almost historic peace when it comes to negotiation and contracts. Baseball's about to lose at least a year over the salary cap argument. 2026 will be the last year for at least 6 months, maybe a year, maybe longer for Major League Baseball. So I think ownership did this because they realized that at this point, things are going well, and this is something the players really wanted. So you risk that injury. And it is too bad that all three of those players are hurt. And two of them are, I think, substantial. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Sidney Crosby can recover. Lowetide, sorry I hopped out on late today. Many apologies from Buck. Are any coaches on their way out, or are we going to have 4 on the bench? Not sure how that'll work. Coffey is reportedly going to show up tomorrow, and with the players, and that'll be the beginning of the process. My suspicion is that it'll be somewhat the same as last year, which would be it was Knobloch, Gulletson, and Coffey on the bench, I believe. I believe that was correct. And then Stewart sometimes came down. Roger, somebody texts in. Do you guys ever see Airplane? What's your vector, Victor? I'm at the Mayo Clinic, and there's a bunch of mayonnaise jars behind him.
It's the best comedy ever. Like it's set the tone for comedy after that, and it changed what comedy before it was.
I just love that show so much. Turn on the landing lights. No, that's just what they'll be expecting us to do. Great movie. Great movie. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, also one of the all-time great ones.
Those aren't 2 pillows.
How does he know which way we're going?
Oh, he's drunk.
Good times. I hate what it means that Coffey is back. There's no way this was the coach's decision or Stan's decision or Jackson's decision. It never works when the owner is calling the day-to-day operation decisions. Hire the best people and trust them to do their jobs, from JJ. I agree completely. And I just think that based on other successes, you just have to let people do their jobs. And everybody gets angry. I get angry at the Oilers. Those outlet passes drive me nuts. The stretch passes that are icings or quick turnovers, I hate them. And they have so much skill that they're not utilizing. I totally get that. But the Oilers have a history of this, and not under Mr. Cates exclusively. There's a lot over the many. Like, I followed this team closely since 1972. Bill Hunter used to fire Ray Kanisewicz Saturday night and hire him back Tuesday as coach. I don't have too much bad to say about Sather. That's the truth. The coda after the 1990 Cup was laborious, and he did make some painful trades like Miro Shatan to Buffalo. But he was a very, very smart general manager and an excellent coach. But when you have decisions made, you have to make the best of them. And if I'm honest, if it did come from Mr. Cates, then ordinarily I would argue that it was a mistake and it shouldn't have happened, and he should have left it alone. But this team has been miserable for some time in terms of skill plays. And of all the things that this Oilers team should be good at, skill plays is at the top of the list. They need to tighten up defensively like Archie Bell and the Drells. And when we talk about defense, often we're talking about, in our mind's eye, about play away from the puck. How are they defending? How are they structured? But that's not how it works. When you're successful, you're not playing defense as much because you're moving the puck out quickly. And the Oilers have made it too damn easy for the other team to go back, get the puck, pass it out and under control, and then spend more time in Edmonton's end. The Oilers have to flip the switch. You'll know when their goal shared 5-on-5 improves. You'll know when their penalty kill improves. The Oilers as an organization have fallen into some bad habits. And they have monumental skill. They just have to restructure and readjust, because those outlet passes were working, then they stopped working against Florida, and the Oilers have been in a malaise since. They have to find a way that works. They have to do things that the opposition isn't anticipating to the point where they absolutely know what's happening. They have to be a little less obvious about what they're doing. All of those things are possible. Other teams do it. The Flames do it, for crying out loud. And I mean, they're the Flames. The Oilers have to get back to being as smart as they are creative. And that's not just the McDavid line and the Draisaitl line. LT, you don't speak jive. I do not. I barely speak English. In fact, I would hazard a guess that my ability to pronounce names from countries that I don't live in is an abomination. It is an insult to the English language and all other languages who sail the open sea. I'm sure the Finnish folks are mad at me, the Swedish folks, the Russian folks. I mean, I don't think the Americans would be mad at me, because I don't think that, I don't have the drawl, but I'll tell you, I almost, they had to rush me to the hospital the first time I tried to pronounce Victor Faust. It was painful. I chipped a tooth. Yeah, they've looked predictable for a while now, says Brendo. LT, the Oilers lost Gulletson and Coffey, only replaced one. This McFarland guy and Stewart aren't cutting it. Well, I do. How do we know McFarland isn't cutting it, right? Like, he's in charge of the forwards, right? So, I mean, the third and fourth, the veterans on the third and fourth line, man, like, if you're looking for a culprit, holy Hannah bells. Can I say that? All right. Limiting goals against, improved goal share. 97 is top 3 in goals against. Look at him today in overtime. Lollygagging off the ice and almost cost Canada the game. Little things like that happen all the time with him in 29. No. McDavid and Draisaitl are they have the puck going in the other direction. Now, not all this year, because McDavid had a little bit of a dip, but then he went wildfire right after I was critical. And he's been money. So no, I'm sorry. This is not that. The Oilers' big problem this year is when McDavid and Draisaitl are off the ice. And I'm telling you, it is a monster. It's like a kraken to this team. It is large, and apparently it's not going anywhere. unless they make some move on the third and fourth line. At 5-on-5 this year, the Oilers are 52% with McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice together, 52% with McDavid solo, 57% with Leon solo, and 35% with the third and fourth lines. 35%. The Washington Capitals in 74-75 were like 31% or something like that. And you know what? That 35% is better than it was. It was 30% not long ago. You're just bleeding, right? When you send out somebody other than McDavid and Draisaitl's lines. That's why Paul Coffey's on the team. If this team gets out of their rut, they'll be playing defense less, and part of it will be defensemen taking extra time, outlet passes more precise, forwards not playing up on a jailbreak. You've got to give that at least one open, attractive passing option for the defenseman to make it work. Okay, 138. On the way, Declinations. We're going to be talking a little round ball. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
The Edmonton Firefighters Rooftop Campout for Muscular Dystrophy is happening now. Edmonton firefighters are again braving the elements by camping on the roof of Fire Hall number 2. This year, they've added a little twist and started the rooftop campout with no camping equipment. The more money they raise for muscular dystrophy, the more equipment they get to survive an Edmonton winter, with a final goal of getting off the roof and helping this incredible cause. Donate now at any Edmonton Fire Hall or online at edmontonrooftopcampout.ca.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notalonecode.com. It's okay to not be okay.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day, with your choice of a McDouble, Junior Chicken, or Chicken Snack Wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers The Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Considering an EV, Subaru is the right choice. Discover their latest electric vehicle innovations, starting with the brand new Solterra, in stock and ready to test drive. Or the Trail Seeker, an EV at its core, a Subaru at heart, and built for adventure. Or the Uncharted This Sporty, all-new small compact SUV brings new levels of driving enjoyment to the all-electric space. Right now, Subaru is offering interest rates as low as 0.49%. Welcome to electric. Welcome to Subaru.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Musical connoisseur. Sports know it all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick at 142. It is time for Declinations, brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca, article, podcasts, and more, breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth double-E football coverage online, elksnation.ca. You'll see Declan's byline there a lot. You're writing a lot of stuff over there.
Writing a lot. Writing a
Now, how are we? Now, this is a personal question. You don't have to answer it, but how are our views? Are we going up, marginally, or are they just spiking like madmen?
I mean, the brass are happy about them. So,
okay. All right.
I'm cool with that too.
No, but we want to get eyeballs on that. So check out elksnation.ca. This team is coming. This isn't last year's team or the year before's. This team is locked and loaded. They've got good coaching staff. They had a build. They had enough talent last year to build on it, and they're doing a good job. Fair?
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be a better team.
And you're suggesting plays to the coaching staff, and I'm sure that'll go well.
I'm trying to.
Yeah. Did they call you Deck?
Yep, they call me Deck. Well, Eddie does. The coaching staff doesn't.
Yeah. Well, Eddie's basically the coaching staff.
Yeah, they asked him to be on it. He said no. This was a couple years ago.
I'm not surprised.
This was a couple years ago.
I'm not surprised. He's a very bright guy. I mean, he hangs with Carius, but everybody has their own, foibles.
Yeah.
So, are you ready for the Duncan with Declan?
Yes.
Okay.
Me and Josh have a fun one today. He's going to give me some players, and we're going to go back and forth on who we'd rather take.
So this is Would You Rather?
Kind of.
Oh, basketball players.
Sounds like it is exactly Would You Rather.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
All right. And Dak has not seen this list.
Yes.
I just compiled it 10 minutes ago. But, all right. Number 1, Jamal Murray or Derek White?
You're starting off with an absolute heater. I think both, like, Jamal Murray has been the number 2 on a championship team. Derek White, what would you say was on that Celtics team? The number 3, the number 4?
Probably the number 4. Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday.
What Derek White does, way better defender. I would take Jamal Murray in pretty much every situation. I would take him as my number 2, and I would take him as my number 1.
Interesting. I'm looking at this. I came into this assuming I would probably take Jamal Murray. I mean, he's a lot better offensively. He's a good floor general, essentially. A secondary floor general behind Nikola Jokic. Derek White is just such like a glue guy. That's a guy that all other 29 teams in the NBA want. They all want a Derek White.
1 trillion%.
I don't know if every team wants a Jamal Murray.
You're probably right about that, because as good as Jamal Murray is, I do think the ball kind of stops with him more than it probably should for a player of his caliber.
But if we're talking 1s, 2s, I'd probably take Jamal Murray. But if I was the Lakers, I'd want Derek White.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Number 2, Ivica Zubac or Miles Turner?
Well, I mean, I guess the Pacers answered this one a little bit, didn't they? I think I like the offensive upside of Zoo. Obviously, Miles, the way he can protect the rim, but I mean, it hasn't really gone that well in Milwaukee. Both guys are just beyond complementary pieces. It does depend on what the makeup of your team is, but I think I would take Zoo.
Yeah, again, that offensive upside of Miles, or the better offense of Miles Turner, more 3-level scoring, whatever, is ideal for this NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I just like Zubac better. Again, sort of the same argument for Derek White. Miles Turner definitely produces more, not this year, but Milwaukee is such a dumpster fire. It's It's insane. But I would take Zoo again for the same argument I made for Derek White, but in all scenarios. That was Josh, by the way. Just couldn't tell.
Good. Thank you.
Oh,
That is Josh.
Are we bringing that back? I hope not.
Once my voice goes back to normal, for sure.
Yeah,
I just thought
we'll have to bring it back once his voice comes back to normal.
I just thought it'd be a little funny.
Just slows the whole show down.
No, but it's a very real thing. Like when you have people texting, and obviously that was a specific example, but when you have people texting and be like, "Hey, Jason, Declan said this," ask him about it.
But
like, yeah, we're gonna bring it up. This
People
is who's talking.
People who listen longer, they know you guys have different cadence.
Yeah, but the reality is there are people who don't listen all the time. There are people who tune in if they think one person said
But do we
something.
sacrifice the show for full names?
Oh, yes, we do.
Listen, here's the real thing of it all.
Seems to me it's like a little bit of, 2% of the people are being served and 98% aren't.
I sort of benefit from this more because Declan literally gets 100% of the heat that comes his way. Because I'm not on camera, so the people who are watching digitally don't know who I am. And
they know.
we have a similar voice. So when I say something egregious, they're just so used to Declan being on the show. But they're like, Declan, how could you say that?
How about I do this? How about you don't mention last names and I let you do a Collinsworth impersonation once a day?
I don't know. We'll think about it.
All right, who's next?
All right, number 3. I literally don't know how to say his name. Zachary Richeche. Yeah, see, I've never.
Is it going to be him or Alex Sarr?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd take Alex Sarr. That was a miss. And you got to feel for the Hawks, man. Look at that string of number 1 picks. It goes Ant. It goes, what was it? It was Ant, Cade, Paulo, Wemby, Richeche, Cooper Flag.
It's a tough beat.
Boy,
they literally had like the worst. It was just the worst draft class.
Boy, do you feel bad for the Hawks. But yeah, Richeche, like I was actually thinking this the other day. Does he get to a second contract with the Hawks? He probably does because he provides some length and he, provides some defensive stability of a team that now wants to build a defensive identity. But boy, yeah, it's not great for him, man. I'm taking Alex Sarr.
Is his nickname Ricochet? It should be.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't have a nickname.
It's just simply 2 buns, and he doesn't do anything particularly well. Mike Scott, not a great ball player all around, but good 3-point shooter. They called him the regional manager. Banger
They
nickname.
called him that?
Yeah.
Mike Scott. He was cold in 2K.
Yeah. He was good because he could shoot the pill. All right, number 4, Jalen Duren or Denny Avdia?
Yeah, I'm taking Duren. Like, he probably is what he is right now, the best player on a 9th or 10th seed. Now, I don't know if Jalen Duren could ever lead a team to a championship, but I would say, and I think you would agree, is clearly Detroit's second best player. And that's a team, again, with a defensive identity, blown expectations out of the water. Yeah, I'm taking Jalen Duren.
I think Denny would be the second best player on the Pistons.
I do too, but I think it would totally change their makeup of the team. And quite frankly, like he has such a green light in Portland that I just don't think he would get the same way in Detroit, and his numbers wouldn't be as impressive. So yeah, I'm taking Jalen.
It's interesting and good that you brought that up of he has the green light in Portland because I like everything he's doing in Portland, but what do the Blazers have to play for at all? Like someone on a team has to take the shots. Someone on a bad team has to take the shots, and that's what's happening with Denny right now.
And they're not even that bad. Like they could conceivably be a play-in team, but it is like you're just the 10th seed is just your absolute ceiling and a play-in loss. Like that's a tough spot to be.
But anyways, that's just my thoughts on all good players on bad teams, or not all good players, but most players that come out of nowhere on bad teams. Let's see him on a good team. All right, Jaylen Brown or Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham. What Jaylen Brown has done this season is like he should be in MVP convos for what he's done with the Boston Celtics and where they might have been. But I just like his size at the position, his ability to distribute the ball. He can score at a high clip. He's not the most efficient, but I got to take Cade.
I like that. I agree. All right, Jalen Williams, J-Dub, or Tyrese Maxey.
It's a good one. I would probably take. I think I'd take Tyrese Maxey.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like
Well, now you're talking.
Lowetide's perks up. Were you ready to disagree with me on that
Oh,
one?
I was ready to disagree with you on that one. I thought you were going to say J-Dub, but I think you and I have the same thoughts on J-Dub.
He's not. I don't know if he's all that.
I don't know if he's all that either. I get it. All NBA second team last year.
I think he was third, but he was second team all defense.
Yes, that's right. Good defender, obviously.
He's kind of like
I think he's a victim of the system.
I agree, and I think like he's a way more skilled player than Draymond Green.
Yes,
Draymond's obviously had the better career, but J-Dub is more skilled. But it kind of fits into that same thing. Like if J-Dub's on Sacramento right now, are we ever talking about J-Dub? Like
I don't think
know,
so.
I don't know if we are. I agree.
Yeah. Oh, hey, shout out to my buddy Rory. He's hearing me on the radio for the first time.
Oh, Rory, good guy.
All right.
Do we have Rory's last name?
Rory Weiss.
There you
or
go.
Weiss. I'm not totally sure.
A good friend of yours, I'm sure.
Well, we worked together for a long time. All right, Nikola Jokic and 4 G Leaguers versus the Kings starting 5.
Holy, that's a good question. I'd take. I mean, you get Sabonis. You get Zach LaVine, who's going to shoot like 40% true shooting percent. Wow, what a question. We're probably running out of time.
All right, this is the last
one. Wow, what a question, Josh. Question of the day across all shows on this station. I'm going to take Jokic and 4 G Leaguers.
I agree. I think the Kings are just so bad. They're not trying to tank, and yet they're still losing games.
It's a mess, man. It's such a mess.
And it's just like Sacramento is just cursed, unfortunately.
Yeah, they really are.
But, all right.
Yeah.
Great job, Josh. Yeah, Unreal comparison.
That was interesting. Thank you. I especially like the 76ers content. That was very good. By the way, the phrase is all that and a bag of chips. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's all that.
Oh, I've used that phrase.
Which, I mean, it's not that impressive. Like, I mean, are a bag of chips really like that much more than all that?
Well, I think it's that thing. It's like you're getting all that.
And a bag of chips.
And a bag of chips.
All right. Okay. I'd like all that and a Maserati.
Yeah.
All that and a kingdom.
You wouldn't use a Maserati.
All that and a planet. I want a planet.
How about all that and the kitchen sink?
Again, who cares?
You wouldn't even drive in a Maserati that
I have a kitchen sink. It's not that big a deal.
You got a Maserati too. I see you.
Do you know that my cats
coming in here
jump up on the counter and they go and drink water out of the kitchen sink?
What does that have to? Oh,
I'm just saying.
Thing. Okay,
you know.
I was on the Maserati train of thought.
Okay, well,
not the Maserati.
All right, listen. Let's play that music.
Play that funky music.
Play that funky music, white boy. There it is.
All right.
Shout out Austin Reeves, by the way.
Oh yeah.
All right. This show was not all that and a bag of chips, but we had fun, and we hope you did too. Jason Krueger on the way. We're back tomorrow with bagged milk and more. Connor coming into the room now, so the official beginning of the real radio show is straight ahead. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. News from the Oilers this morning, Paul Coffey will be back behind the bench. And over in Italy, Canada takes the win over Czechia in a 4-3 overtime with a goal from Mitch Marner. Sidney Crosby also left the game with no updates yet. Finland beat Switzerland 3-2 in overtime with a goal from Arturi Lehkonen, and the U.S. is playing Sweden right now. Men's curling beat Italy 8-3 in the preliminary round and will take on Norway in the morning. Team Homan is currently tied with Italy 7-7. Stephen Dubois snagged gold in the men's short track 500-meter final, and the Canada's women took bronze in the short track 3,000-meter relay. Blue Jays outfielder Anthony Santander is scheduled to miss between 5 and 6 months because of a torn labrum, reemerged while doing off-season hitting work. In the NBA, Kyrie Irving will miss the remainder of the season as he continues to recover from a knee surgery last March. Next on Sports 1440, the Jason Krueger Show. I'm Mackenzie, and that's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.